some great news to share with you guys. They've enabled a setting for us to play live music, so I'm so happy to be able to play some harmonium and chant. I'm sure Shannon will chant with us this morning. So you could find a nice, comfortable way just to sit, and we'll use this opening opportunity to bring ourselves into the present moment, to settle into our practice. So if you can sit with your legs crossed, that's the preferred seat in our practice. Otherwise, you find what's comfortable for you. Since you're at your home, you can always use the back of a wall, or you can use edge of a sofa, or even sit up on a chair if you need to. So let's just center with a few opening breaths. You can close down the eyes and just begin to check in with the physical body this morning. Allowing your breath to circulate in and out through the nose, unrestricted. You could first become aware of the spine and feeling the beautiful length of this structure in the body, reaching from the tailbone all the way back to the base of the skull. Creating a little more upward lift in the body by sitting tall in your seat, yet relaxing your muscles. You can turn your inner gaze up to the point between the two eyebrows and look upward and very far outward. And it's worth saying at the beginning of the practice that you can sort of take off any hats that you might wear of being the manager of your life, of organizing this moment, of controlling the way that the experience unfolds. And you might even bring your awareness to your ears for a moment and start to listen. Listen to the sound around you. And listen for any feelings that might be arising in the body. It's a very subtle shift, but it makes us so much more wakeful in our practice to be listening rather than directing and controlling. Especially free the muscles of the belly and the point between the two eyebrows so that everything's relaxed, the breath can flow effortlessly. And let's join some awareness into the heart and listen here for a moment. Without desire to change or alter the experience, just noticing what's happening in the center of feeling in the body, the heart space. And then drawing that listening quality of energy up to the point between the two eyebrows. And if you could imagine that your sense of self just grew a little bit bigger, expanded a little bit wider, even beyond the boundaries of your skin. It's from this place that we will take in our chant this morning. This chant is called God's Power. It's a beautiful chant affirming divine qualities within our bodies. Feel free to chant out loud with us if you'd like. Just take a few moments of awareness at the very top of your spine and the base of the skull. Feeling the cosmic current entering into your body and filling first into the head and then down through the body, the torso, the arms and the legs, and all the way into the feet. God's power, vitality, good health, and strength flow through me, flow through me, flow through me. So as we practice this morning, let's feel this quality of vitality and strength and good health flowing through our bodies. You can open the eyes as you're ready to. And we'll just take a moment here and we'll fill the hands up through the body by inhaling and reaching up overhead. And just take a big reach up into the sky and then let the hands unfold out nice and wide. A couple times, inhaling, drawing up. Raising that energy up the spine and then releasing down, out and around. And one more time. Deepening breath and then releasing, nice graceful movement. Let's inhale and reach all the way up and around. And we'll twist over to the side. Either side will do to open. Front hand to the knee, back hand behind you. And just do a little figure 8 pattern with your nose, reaching side to side. Freeing in the neck and the throat. And take maybe 1 or 2 rounds of inhaling, looking up, and exhaling, looking down. As you're ready, coming through center, very gentle, release arms back up to the sky to align the spine. And then as you are fit to do so, you can exhale over to the other side. But try pushing into your back hand to really lift the length of the spine, looking over to the side wall. And this time just let chin come to either shoulder, sort of broadcasting from one direction to the next. Some of us may even get a little circling here, like you're tracing a circle on the top of the ceiling, the crown of the head. And then as is natural on exhalation, you can go ahead and release forwards. So any which way that you need to come out of your seat, if you can just roll forward, feel free. We're going to come up onto hands and knees. So just take one of your hands forward and sort of circle out the wrist here. Start with fingers open and come into soft fist. We'll settle that side down right to the other side. A little bit of opening in the body. Good. Let's go other side. Inhale, reach forward and then come up and around as far as your body will allow in this opening sequence, and then settle that side down and go right to the other side. So inhaling, reaching up and around. Good. Directing that internal current into the shoulder and the arm through your awareness and your breath. Just a couple more rounds here, switching sides as you're ready. Let it be dramatic. You can swing the hips out to the side that the arm is lifting, in this way that you can make more room to open in the chest. We'll do last time to keep even, and then coming back and down to the earth. Good. Let's go ahead and take hands just a step forward, and we can circle in the hips a few times. A nice way to open into the pelvic bowl. Nice deep breath as you start to liberate some of the energy that may be holding down in the lower centers of the spine. Let it be soft and relaxed, so relax your shoulders and especially the expression on your face. Just a little bit of circling to warm up the hips. Good. And let's come into neutral position. We'll go through cat and cow. So inhaling, lifting chin, arching spine, and then exhaling and rounding. listening to the breath. On cat pose, lifting crown of the head to the sky with gentle arching of the spine. In cat pose, you're tucking the belly up towards the ceiling, pressing off the earth and looking to the lap. Good. We'll go rather quick here just to lubricate the joints rather than sending too much energy inward. Let's make sure the body is soft in this beginning aspect of our practice. And then just go ahead and swing hips as you look back towards them. So hips go to the right, head to the right, and then opposite side. Take a couple rounds here just to sort of look back over. Alright, hands nice and firm on the ground. Let's send right foot reaching behind us and just do a little point and a little flexing of the toe behind you. And you could circle in the ankle here as well. Nice deep breathing. And then set that side down. We'll do other side. So just getting that sense of extension through the back of the body, legs extended. And let's go to other side here. We're going to extend our right foot back and just settle heel side onto the ground. And we'll come right into our side plank pose. So reaching up into the sky. Nice strong angles in the body. And if you'd like, you can face palm top side down and reach up overhead. Good, nice deep breath. Breathing strong in the body. When you're ready to come down, you just fold down to the other side, and we'll come right over to our posture on opposite side. So left foot goes back, and then you're extending up and over to the side. And there's a sense of expanding quality of energy in this posture, so feel that energy is expanding from your spine and that you're being supplied, rejuvenated by that point at the base of the skull, top of the spine. In this way, you're always connected to the source of all energy. Let's face palm side down. If your shoulder can accommodate, you can reach up overhead. And just breathe, nice steady breath here. Expanding in the heart, lengthening through crown of the head. And when you feel that you need to come down, you just slowly start to close the heart down towards the ground, and we come back down to the earth. Let's slide nice and low on this version of our cow pose, and then lift yourself up. Good. And you're going to exhale like you're touching into child's pose, and then roll your way up into your cat pose. So we'll go back and forth here, inhaling, stay nice and low, and press off the hands, lifting. And then as you exhale, sit back into child's pose to release the spine and then round up into your cat pose. Inhale takes you diving. You might be able to become aware of the length of your spine in the pose. And then exhale, find you sitting back and then rolling up. Good, just a couple more. So going low like this will strengthen the back sides of the arms, the triceps. And rolling up into your cat pose will flush out low aspects of the spine, lower back, lower energy centers. And we'll all come back into neutral. And just, if you can, if it's okay on your knees, float your feet and just sort of curl the toes underneath and circle them. Get everything a little released here. And then you can tuck your toes underneath. Good, let's inhale, and we're going to step our hands beyond where we're used to having them, just another length here. And you can inhale and straighten your legs into your plank pose. In this plank, keep your hips as high as your shoulders. Nice and steady in the breath. Good. And we're going to take deep, deep breath here. So when you breathe, breathe from the region of the belly. So deep down in the lungs, all the way through ribs and chest to crown of the head. Nice, steady breath. Holding strong. And as is natural for you, the knees begin to bend. We settle them down onto the ground. Toes stay tucked under. Slide the hands along your mat, up the thighs, and come right onto your knees. We're going to inhale and float the arms up into the sky. And then exhale, seal the hands down in front of the heart. Good. Let's extend arms out in front, and we'll just oxygenate with a few breaths here together. So double inhalation. Double exhale, take them off. Tense the arms back. Release forward. Again. And release. Keep going. One more. Good. All right, hands down to the heart. We'll come right into camel pose since we're here. Hands settling down onto the base of the spine. Go ahead and squeeze the shoulders and arms together behind the body, and then very gently begin to release the hips forward, release the belly, and then lift the heart towards the sky. Your gaze is just to the horizon in front of you. Some of us might look a little bit higher. Breathe, nice steady breath. Feeling the breath coursing through the body, supporting the asana, the posture. Nice deep breath. We'll repeat the affirmation with calm faith. I open to thy light. With calm faith, I open to thy light. You can release as is natural for you, just coming down out of the pose. We're going to bow the knees down and then just inhale and lift back into your full kneeling pose. And then exhale and seal the hands down. So you're using the strength of the legs to lift yourself, inhaling to rise, and exhaling to come down. One more time. Getting nice energy through the spine. Then we'll exhale. We're going to bow forwards all the way down. You can slide your hands back underneath the shoulders. Keep nose low. And we'll lift right into our cow pose. Good. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. So toes stay tucked underneath and hips press up towards the sky. Take a little march in place here just to soften the back side of the knees. Relax in the shoulders. The affirmation for downward facing dog. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. These affirmations help us to understand the inner aspect of the posture, so that our asanas or postures don't become hollow, but they are enriched by these affirmations. Keep looking to the lap here for a few more breaths. Repeating inwardly, calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. And when you're ready to, you can roll yourself forward right up into your high plank. Good, and then we'll come right down onto the knees, and we're going to sweep back up, getting a nice little flow here, coming onto the knees, circle the arms around and then up. Exhaling hands right into the center of the heart. Inhaling, lifting up nice and tall. And then you can exhale and send hands down towards the hips. So pick which side you'd like to start. We'll inhale and flow up, reaching as we lean into the hips and reach over to the side. Our kneeling half moon pose. And then you can just let that arm cross down to the center of the body. Find it centered onto the hip. And then reach the other side up and over. Feeling Feeling a sense of vitality lifting through your spine. The affirmation for our full half moon pose is strength and courage fill my body cells. Remembering the words of our chant. God's power, vitality, good health and strength flow through me, flow through me. Feel that good health and strength flowing through this pose. And then you can cross the front arm down when you're ready to leave. Let's inhale and reach up, arms all the way to the sky. We're just going to interlace the fingers and leave pointer fingers aligned with a slight bend in the elbows. Stay nice and stable here, shoulders peeling back behind the body. You can close the eyes and inwardly lift the gaze, so look up to the point between the two eyebrows. Feeling the internal body. This shape is very conductive, sending energy rising up through the spine. Let's take a deep breath and you can release the arms up into the sky and then exhale and bow them down out of the way. Good, we'll come hands reaching down onto the earth. Stay with this nice little flow. Nose dips low as you peel into your cow pose. Exhale, push right into downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, roll forward, so tuck your tail underneath. You come into high plank. Option to keep knees and elbows bent, and then just push right back into your down dog. So you get a sense of sort of toning the whole body. You roll forward. On exhale, inhale, elbows bend, knees bend, and then exhale right into down dog and look behind you. Just a couple rounds like this, moving smoothly, calmly, allowing vitality and energy to support the strengthening process in this practice. And when you're ready, you come all the way down to your knees and just take a moment in child's pose to rest and relax in the body. Forehead connecting with the earth, arms reaching out nice and long. Child's pose. The affirmation, I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. Let every pose send you deeper inward into calm, into presence of the body, expanded awareness. Alright, we're not here to stay this time around, so inhale, you can lift yourself out of your child's pose, and we'll come back onto hands and knees. And we're going to just lift through our down dog as a transition pose to step our left foot all the way up forward between the hands. If you need to drop your back knee, feel free to do so. But otherwise, stay in this lifted version of our runner's lunge. When you're ready to rise, start with one hand stepping to the knee, and then send two hands up to the knee. We're going to very gently just seal the back heel down to the ground and lift into our Warrior One stance. And then let your hips come open to the side into the Warrior Two foundation here. We're going to drop our front forearm onto our thigh and send opposite arm reaching up to the sky for our side angle pose. Nice deep breath. Looking down if you'd like, or up if the body will accommodate. Feeling the openness of the heart in the posture. Nice strength in the low regions of the body. And just let the upper arm come sliding down back by the hip and then all the way down, rounding towards the earth. We're going to use the strength of our legs to lift right into our Warrior One pose and stand strong with arms descending down into shoulders, heart lifting. The affirmation for the pose, I attune my will to the source of all power. I attune my will to the source of all power. Pushing down through soles of the feet, hugging the inner thighs close together, and lifting through the pelvic floor gives you great energy for this pose. I attune my will to the source of all power. When you're ready, bowing hands down through the heart center, we'll just lower down and bridging onto this thigh with both hands. You can roll onto the ball of the back foot and then step your way down and back to the ground. We're going to send back knee dropping down to the earth and slowly release back into our half Hanuman pose, so straightening the front leg. Just take a moment here to wiggle the toes. Nice deep supportive breath in the practice. Toes flexing towards the face keeps the knee safe. And you use the balance of the arms to gently lower yourself towards your lap with your torso coming downward. You may even find a position where you can release your head towards your knee. Good, steady, deep breath. Hanuman in the great epic, the Ramayana, is the servant of Ram. So there is a quality of service in this pose. We become serviceful to that divine grace that flows within us. When you're ready to, you slowly rise out of the pose and lift the back knee so that you can lift the hips and press yourself right back into downward facing dog. And take a little pedal side to side. Notice if there's any openness on the left side more than the right side. And then as you're ready, you can step opposite side up. So right foot coming all the way between the hands, we'll step down and come into our long runner's lunge. If you need to bow the back knee, feel free, but otherwise stay lifted with lots of energy here. And now as you're ready to, you can even set the back heel down before you rise if you'd like. And then step one hand up to the knee, and with deep breath and downward pressure into the feet, lift yourself right into your warrior two base. So open the hips out to the side. We're going to drop our forearm and come into our side angle pose. If your hips are way, way up here, see if you can bow the hips down a little. Keep strong lines of energy in the body. Nice deep breathing. Whole body expanding in every direction. Some of us with flexibility in the shoulders can take the top palm and face it down and just cut over the space of the head and really create this powerful angle in the pose. Nice deep breathing, releasing tension in the jaw if there's any holding there. Finding your way back into a relaxed smile in the pose. When you're ready, very gently turning that top palm down and sweeping all the way around and push down strong through your right leg as we roll our way or twist our way right up into warrior one pose. Arms descending down into the shoulders, holding steady. Nice deep breath, repeating the affirmation, I attune my will to the source of all power. I attune my will to the source of all power. Feel length in your spine, energy in your practice. Ready to come down, hands slide through our prayer pose, sending them down onto the thigh. Just very gently dip down to touch one hand to the ground. Try rolling onto the ball of the back foot, and then both hands come down to the ground. All paths lead back to downward facing dog. Taking a little pedal here. You can swing the head yes like a bell. Draw little circles with the crown of the head. Alright, any side that you'd like. We're going to come into a wide stance here. So stepping one foot back to the space between the hands. Go ahead and turn yourself onto the long edge of your mat. So you're in a big straddle stance here with toes facing off the side of the mat, and just release the head down towards the ground. For those of us that need to, you can take your forearms and brace them on your thighs if you need, and you take a deep bend in the knees. Most important here, just release the back of the neck and the head towards the ground. And go ahead and work through the muscles of the face here by rolling the lips and scrunching forehead and eyes, sticking out tongue towards the chin on exhale. The affirmation, I relax and cast aside all mental burdens. Keep the energy on the ball of the foot for readiness, wakefulness in the practice. I relax and cast aside all mental burdens. Beautiful. Slowly to rise, you can heel toe, feet closer together until you're all the way into the center. And if you're facing the side still, just go ahead and face the front side of the mat. Good, we're going to inhale, active phase of our halfway lift here. So inhaling, lifting, and then exhale and just set the head back towards the ground. Inhaling to lift, you're pressing off of your legs. Think long, long spine here. Squeeze the belly for support, and then exhaling to release. One more time. Inhaling, preparing to lift. Good. Now when you're ready, bend the knees deeply and begin to rise all the way up. Arms and head, last parts of the body to rise as you slowly come into your standing pose. Arms into the sky. Open the eyes or squeeze the thighs if you feel lightheaded. Hands right down into prayer. Soften them beyond the heart and down by the waist. Take a moment just to close the eyes and feel the internal experience of the pose. Relax the muscles. Inner gaze lifting. Look upward without moving. Crown of the head or chin. Beautiful. Let's come into our warrior three pose. So taking hands onto the hips. Step your right foot just onto tips of the toes behind you. Slight bend in your left leg. Some of us, we might stay here. Others of us will join hands into prayer. And furthermore, if you feel like you want to try the balance aspect of the pose, flex the toes of the back foot and start lifting the heel as you release forward into the pose. You can always have hands back on the hips if it's more supportive to you. Back leg is strong here, lots of integrity. Flexing the toes sends a little energetic line down the back leg. Some of us can extend our arms wide like we're flying in the sky. Good, nice deep breath here. The affirmation, I sail serenely through skies of inner freedom. One more time, I sail serenely through skies of inner freedom. You're ready to lower down. Keep the foot back behind you. Set the heel side down and even the weight of the feet and reach up to the sky. Repeating the affirmation from Muktasan, I am free. I am free. I am free. I am free. Big expansive heart here. Good. Let's take hands down in a neutral position in the center of the heart. We're going to straighten the front leg and begin to lay ourselves forward into our pyramids pose. So very gentle, just start to walk down this leg. Some of us need to keep a bridge of the hands. We keep knees slightly bent. Others of us can go right down. There's two aspects of this pose. When you're ready to, you inhale and you lift the spine nice and long. So hips sit back towards behind you, but your spine releases forward. Repeating, I offer myself fully into the flow of grace. And when you do offer yourself, fold forward, release the head and the neck. Inhaling, lifting. I offer myself fully into the flow of grace. And then exhaling to lower and feel that grace descending upon you. One more time, inhaling to rise. Feeling great length in the spine, energy building. I offer myself fully into the flow of grace. And then we'll bow forwards. Good. To rise out of the pose, slowly walk the hands up the leg, bending front knee and coming back towards standing. And then you'll just take a gentle step forward so both feet are matching. If you'd like, circle the arms up and around. Exhale, send them down through the heart and release them by the hips and close the eyes. Inner gaze lifting up to the point between the two eyebrows. And feel that beautiful awakening through the left side of the hip, left side of the body. I offer myself fully into the flow of grace. You might pay special attention to the point at the base of the skull and feel like an opening window, great currents of energy revitalizing the left side of the body and then the rest of the body. Slowly opening eyes. We'll set for other side. Coming first into our Ganapatyasana, stepping back onto the ball of your left foot, slight bend in your right. Shift the weight over the front foot. You might hold on to hips. Others of us, hands will go into the heart. When you're ready, if you'd like to try and take flight, first start by flexing the back toes. Push out through the heel and energize in the body as you lift into the pose. I sail serenely through skies of inner freedom. Try to look at least to the top edge of your mat. I sail serenely through skies of inner freedom. Feel that great current of energy as you relax into the pose. One more time. I sail serenely through skies of inner freedom. Just like a kite blowing on a windy day. The body weightless. Nice deep breath. Smile, especially if it feels challenging to your body. When you're ready to release down, you just set that left foot back behind you. Keep right knee bent and rise right into Muktasana, freedom pose. Arms up to the sky. Nice deep breath here. Repeating the affirmation, I am free. I am free. I am free. I am free. And live in that reality right now. I am free. I am free. When you're ready to, hands gently descending down through the heart center. You can begin to straighten your front leg and we'll set for our pyramids pose. So you may just walk your hands down onto the thigh. Some of us, this is enough. If you can go a little bit further, feel free to go down. Active phase, you inhale and lift crown of the head towards the front of the room. Try to think like a cow pose. You're arching, or you're arching the spine here, and then you can exhale and round down. Inhaling to rise, we'll repeat the affirmation together. I offer myself fully into the flow of grace. And then exhale and plunge down into the resting aspect of the pose. Inhaling to rise again. I offer myself fully into the flow of grace. And then descend down again. Remember that grace comes in through the base of the skull, top of the spine. One more time, let's center awareness up at that point of the medulla. I offer myself fully into the flow of grace. And exhaling, we bow the head, which opens this point. Sit your hips further back, take a nice deep breath, exhale fully. When you're ready to rise, start bending your front knee and walk your hands up that leg. Nice and steady, push down through feet to be strong in body and mind. And then step both feet up and together. Just release the hands down and take a moment to feel the body. Relaxing and feeling the effects of the postures. Gently opening the eyes as you're ready. We're going to come into chair pose, a couple different ways to enter this pose. You can take hands into your heart, and you can slowly shift weight towards the back of the foot onto the heel, and start to lower the hips down, squeezing muscles of the belly, and descending down. Now another version of this pose that's very interesting to try, just be gentle on your knees, is to seat your hips back underneath your shoulders and come onto the ball of the foot. And in this version, you can go as low as you'd like to go down. Some of us hover way, 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 all the way down towards the ground. But you find that point that really nourishes the body. The affirmation for Utkatasana or chair pose. My body is no burden. I am light as air. My body is no burden. I am light as air. Center your energy in the heart. My body is no burden. I am light as air. My body is no burden. I am light as air. My body is no burden. I am light as air. When you're ready to rise, you inhale and ascend right on the tips of the toes, coming into palm tree pose. Arms reach up into the heavens. Nice deep inhalation. Good, and then exhale, you can just gently release and descend with heels and arms down out of the way. Close the eyes, relax and feel. Good. Last of our standing poses, we'll come into triangle pose. So right to the front of your mat, you take the biggest step back that you can until your foot reaches the ground. Your toes are pointing just like in a warrior two pose, so off at a diagonal over to the side. Straighten your front leg and imagine like you're folding a blanket right in this left leg, and you start to fold yourself forwards. Now drop the back side of your left hand down towards the knee, and we're going to draw the right hand up to the heart and open the chest to the side and then reach up to the sky. Now better to keep the spine nice and long here than to try to descend all the way down to the ground. But if you can lower that hand down by the ankle, feel free. The affirmation, energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. A nice way to come out of this pose is to drop the top arm down and bend the front knee and just press off of the thigh if you need to. We come right back through neutral. Good, let's take a big step all the way forwards. Just a moment here to feel the effect of the practice. Close the eyes in Tadasana. Nice deep breath. Good, we'll go right to the other side. So coming to the front of the mat if you aren't already. This time left foot steps back. We find a nice straight front leg. If you're very flexible, be careful not to push the knee back behind you, but keep a slight bend. And slowly you start to fold into this front hip. Match the back side of the palm to the thigh, to the knee, maybe to the ankle. And then the opposite arm pulls the heart open and reaches to the sky. A little tip in your triangle pose, if you actively push the back side of the palm to the leg, you create a little energetic lock that helps to keep you energized in the pose. Good, and we'll repeat the affirmation. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. Look to the earth if your neck ever gets uncomfortable. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. Nice steady breath here. When you're ready to exit the pose, let it be slow. Start by bending that front knee, dropping the top arm down. Then you might lean forward and then press your way out of the pose. Take your step to the front of the mat and just rest here. Close the eyes and feel. Very important aspect of your practice. Stay out of those alleyways of idle thought. Come back into the light of present awareness. Draw the energy back to the point between the two eyebrows and feel the body. Feel the spine, especially as energy is centering back into our spine. When you're ready, gradual opening of the eyes. We're going to slowly just fold our way down, sliding our way down our own body. Walk hands away from feet, feet away from hands in a downward facing dog. And you can really feel all of this awakening in your hips, especially in this pose. Sink heels heavy to the ground and stay in your down dog for several breaths. Remember, in this pose, the body is not meant to be felt as a burden. So gentle pressure off top side of the palms and tips of the fingers, heaviness in the heels, and lightness in the hips. Look up to the point between the two eyebrows and feel that sense of calm expanding in the body. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. Just breathing and allowing the experience to unfold without control or direction. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. When you're ready, the earth is awaiting your approach. Knees come down to the earth, and we take child's pose just to rest here. So untuck your toes, reach the arms long, or if it's not a bother or a discomfort on your head, wrap the hands back behind you. If your child's pose doesn't allow hips to come back towards the heels, then you just rest on your forearms, at least bow your head down. Good,
Nice deep breathing here.
If the awareness has descended into the underworld of the subconscious, resurrect your energy back into the spine and feel that it is upwardly guided back to the point between your two eyebrows. Backside of the skull, top of the spine, wide open to receive the current of grace into your body. Using the gentle encouragement of your will to guide energy to recharge and refresh every cell in your physical body. Let's just shift our energy to the point between the two eyebrows, and you can mentally say Om, Om, Om. When you're ready to rise out of the pose, hands release back under the shoulders. And we just very slowly rise up through our seat here into Vajrasana, sitting over the ankles. This may not be very comfortable. Feel free to adjust if you need. We'll flip the palms up and gently draw the chest forwards. Lift the energy to the point between the two brows so you can feel the effects. Just repeat a few times at the point between the two eyebrows. Om Christ bliss. 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 Very gently just roll your hands off to the side so that you can release your feet from out of the way. We're going to come all the way down onto our backs and we'll set for our final posture before Shavasana. So you can hold onto your thighs if you'd like and just roll yourself all the way back. And we'll end with our knees in towards our chest. We're going to come into a supported shoulder stand or Viparikkarni Mudra. So if this is a challenging pose or inaccessible, the easiest version is just to take soft fists and sit onto the hands and send your feet to the sky. If you can go higher, plug your elbows into the ground and lift the feet over the head, then press into the elbows and guide your hips into your hands. You relax all the muscles in the legs. Relax the heart and the shoulders. Even the expression on the face. Holding the pose for another minute or so. If you feel you need to come down, you can always bend your knees and just descend down. Close your eyes and have your own experience. Remembering our affirmation, I offer myself fully into the flow of grace. When you do feel that it's time for you to come down out of the practice of this pose, some of us will lower our feet over our head into a plow pose, and this is totally welcomed. Others of us will just take the knees in towards the chest. Whatever you choose, take long deep breath here and be mindful of any pressure in the face. And stay in your pose, whatever it is, if it's plow, if it's knees to ears. You allow the pose to work its magic, listening and watching. You find any final pose that your body is craving, leaving the eyes closed. Now is a good time to locate a blanket, some socks or a sweater to keep the body warm. We're preparing for Shavasana, so take your time. You might spend another minute or so in the pose of your choice. And we'll keep our energy first centered in the spine. No matter what pose you're in, this is the anchor point of our awareness, and we lift up the spine right to the very top and then rise diagonally through the brain to the point between the two eyebrows, looking upward. You let all currents recalibrate and balance with this as the central point of focus. Repeating the affirmation as you arrive into Shavasana. Bones, muscles, movement. I surrender now. Anxiety, elation, and depression. Churning thoughts. All these I offer into the hands of peace. Bones, muscles, movement, I surrender now. Anxiety, elation, and depression, churning thoughts. All these I give into the hands of peace.
Just take a few moments to return back to the body in complete stillness. To feel the interior climate. If the awareness is any bit sleepy, wake it back up by drawing the energy to the point between the two eyebrows. When you're ready to invite small movement back to the body, you can wiggle fingers and toes. You can draw a deep conscious breath in through the nose. Maybe even rock the head side to side. And only as you're ready in your practice, free the arms up overhead along the earth, awakening. You can draw the knees up in towards the chest. Taking your time to roll off to the side. And then pressing your way back up to a comfortable seated posture. Keeping the eyes closed, sit nice and tall in the spine. Relax every muscle in the body. Lift through the crown of the head, lengthening the spine, relaxing into the length. Take a few silent moments just to feel here. Gently join the hands together in prayer in front of the altar of the heart. Saying prayers for all those who are struggling during these times. They can use the upliftment of higher vibration, of the free flow of grace that effortlessly pours into us in all moments. Let's pray that they open to this grace as we have done in our practice today. That their bodies be healed, their minds be calmed. If there's anyone in particular that you'd like to pray for, personal prayer is very powerful. See them in your mind's eye, healed in a loving light. Let's rub the palms together. Extend the hands out nice and wide, and Om, deep inhalation. Back to the heart center. Bowing to that place within us that is peaceful, that is loving and kind, We bow to that as the essence of who we are, the same essence in all beings. We honor that place in each other by saying Namaste. Namaste. Thank you all very much for joining in class this morning. I hope you all have a beautiful day.